Roy!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Wrap Up with Dan Myers. I'm Nick Buckler. Dan, we're going to jump right into it with SOL, man.
Oh, yeah.
Same old football. Lions, they dropped their opener 33-28. Are you surprised? I don't know if I am. But the way the game played out, yes. But the way the team is, no.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it was just after that initial touchdown, I was like, all right, here we go. This is a new season. It's a new day. And it just collapsed from there. I don't know where to start. It was just so frustrating to see that. By the end of the game, I just felt deflated. I just was just, is this really happening right now?
You did mention it's a new day. Good Charlotte once said, it's a new day, but it all feels old.
Yeah?
Same old Lions, my friends. It's the same old song and dance, my friend.
There you go.
Okay, Calvin Johnson, arguably the best receiver in the league. How many catches did he have, Dan? Tell me when to stop. Oh, wait, stop! Oh, 2 catches. He had 2 catches. Nothing's coming out. I can't talk. 2 catches, 39 yards. Is that on Stafford? Is that on the offensive coordinator? Is that on the tough D of the Chargers shooting their lightning bolts around? Come on.
That's on the coordinator. I love it. It was working. It was working fine. And instead of going with it until it didn't work, they just stopped and went with a whole different idea. And why would you do that when you have one of the best talents in the league? Why not get it? And I think that was the issue last year too. And you'd think you'd learn something from them, but
no, the Lions don't learn.
That's true.
They see, oh yeah, we should probably do that. Nah, Golden Tate, one of your best receivers. He has 4 catches. Oh, good. 24 yards. Yeah, let's sling out a few receiver screens. He'll get hit at the line of scrimmage. No big deal. Stafford throws 2 picks. Sure. Do you consider his last touchdown even a touchdown? I don't.
Right. No, not at all.
They were down by 11 points, just slinging the ball around, driving down the field, throwing up the middle to their tight ends. I think that touchdown, in reality, the stat line says he had 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. The last touchdown was a gift. Here you go. You guys can drive down. We're not going to play defense because you still have to get an onside kick, which they didn't. The Lions led 21-3 in this game. They lost 33-28. The defense might as well have not even been on the field. Rashean Mathis is the worst cornerback the world has ever seen. Rashean, I know you're watching. You're a big fan of the show. Retire. Retire. All right, man? Horrible. Time to retire. Okay, all right. Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator of the Lions. You know you have Rashean Mathis. Okay, veteran. Good year last year. I'll give him that. Good job. We're going to put him on Keenan Allen, their best receiver. Okay, so when he gets burned the first 10 times, you think you'd make an adjustment. No. Let's put him out there, and we're going to put him 20 yards off the line. So, Keenan Allen's going to cut right across the middle. Hey, 3rd down and 19. You're still winning the game, by the way. You're still winning the game. 3rd and 19. Okay, they're probably going to throw to Keenan Allen on a crossing pattern because they've done it all year.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we'll bring a safety over the top, a Hedebo or Glover Quinn, who already has a pick 6. No, let's play single coverage with our worst cornerback, Rashean Mathis, who's probably 100 and his cane snapped when the play started. And they gained 22 yards and a 1st down. Are you kidding me? No, we're not. This is the Lions football. Roar.
So safe to say the roar hasn't been restored in Motown.
Don't tell the slap happies that.
Right.
Kidding me? They're going to be coming out in full force. Oh, dude, we're playing the Vikings next week. They're the worst team ever. Did you watch your game last week? You kidding me? The senior center could have gotten a better team out there. They could have played tougher defense than the professionals that we call our football team. Dan, save me.
It was, looking at the initial 4 games of the season, I really thought, all right, they're going to come maybe by week 5, they're going to be 3-1, realistically, or 1-3, excuse me. And you know, it's not over yet. I'm trying to cool down the Jets right now.
Oh no, I'm not saying the season's over.
Right,
It's
but
just
then
brutal.
you think about, you know, your teams in years past is where this has almost hurt them. You know, it's not that they lost, it's the way they lost. And that's frustrating because you know every game is important during a season, and just the way they lost is so heartbreaking, especially with, you know, I know it's tradition. Every year it's a new year. It's, you know, it's Stafford's year. It's a breakout year for our young rookies and what have you. But it just, everyone had the Kool-Aid. We were ready to go for the most part, and we're ready to, it's a new year, and then something like this happens. I mean, that first half, I was like, okay, all right.
I was riding a lion. I actually ordered one from Africa.
Yeah.
And we were going to ride it around the neighborhood. But
I saw that there's free shipping and everything off of Amazon.
now they're giving them away.
Yeah.
No one wants them.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
I heard, you know, halfway through the trip, they just quit, and, you know, you end up not getting a win.
Was that an innuendo?
It could have been.
I think it was.
But it was so frustrating to see, you know. It was just so much potential. We're riding high, and you come back from that, you're like, okay, maybe we'll get some more points on the board. You know, if not, just hold them there or whatever. And with a talent like they have, they should at least score 1 touchdown per quarter, at least. But
No.
that wasn't the case. 30 unanswered points.
Reality struck. Let's look at reality here. Realistically, we're going to scrap the last offensive drive from the Lions because they were just slinging downfield, 2-minute offense, and Chargers D was sitting back. So we're going to throw that away. First drive, 80 yards, touchdown. Roar. That was their real only offensive touchdown. And they had 2. Abdullah's 24-yard strike, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then Stafford threw one to Ebron as well, which, shock, whoa, Ebron. Roar. So their offense produces 2 touchdowns. You get a pick 6 from Glover Quinn. The defense was terrible. I've already talked about that. Chest is racing. Abdullah was great, but he only has 7 carries. He averages 7.1 yards per carry, 50 yards, a touchdown, but we're still going to split it with Joique Bell, who averaged scrap his longest run of 9 yards. Scrap that, and his average was less than 1 yard per carry. It was, actually. He had 6 rushes for 14 yards. That's a 2.3 yard average right there. Scrap his 9-yard carry. He's averaging 1 yard per rush. Let's keep giving him the rock.
Good.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? And another thing. This might get heated here in a minute. I'm dripping some sweat right now just thinking about it. All right? How many times when you're on defense, it's 3rd and 4 or less? So, okay, when you're in the backyard playing schoolyard football and you're doing the trying to draw the defense off sides, watch the ball. No. Doesn't matter who's on the D-line. Fairley used to do this all the time. Big Daddy Dan Wilkinson used to do this all the time. Robert Porcher, Shawn Rogers. The names change. The result's the same. They jump off sides. What? And then it's an automatic first down. You could stop them. You could get the ball back. No. We want to stay on the field. It's bonehead football. Bonehead. Watch the ball.
Where do you put the blame for that? We've had countless coaches.
Okay, I'll put the blame on it. No, Dan, I'm cutting you off right now. The blame is on Roger Goodell. He's letting these guys into the league without a college education. Maybe without a high school education. Maybe without a half a brain. All right, Dan? Sure, they make you go to high school or college for a couple of years. Sure, most colleges make you get, your diploma to get in. But when you're a freak talent and you're an athlete, they're going to bend some rules. Roger Goodell's going to bend some rules. Did you ever notice that, Dan? You went to De La Salle. You had your fair share of athletes come through. You had the best catcher in the world, Alex Avila, come through your school. You had Sugar Shane Morris come through your school.
We had Dan DeKaiser.
You did have Danny D. You did. They bend rules. And I'm sorry for the audio operator right now because my voice is through the roof. It's probably a hard job to have right now. And most Mondays when we film this show, I apologize. But this is pathetic.
Yeah.
All right? This is absolutely stupid. If you can't get fundamentals through your brain, you shouldn't be in the league. You get an idiot making $30 million before he even takes a snap in the NFL. Matthew Stafford, guess how much money he was guaranteed his rookie contract?
I don't want to know.
$52 million guaranteed in his rookie 5-year contract. My heart hurts.
Yeah, it's. At one point, do you realize, all right, is it a mental thing? Is it nerves? What is it? Clearly, these are basic ideas, basic rules that you're supposed to know. Coming into the pros, coming into the show, and when they're making mistakes like this, what is it? Is it organization? It's just like you said, it's. I don't even know where to go with that because it's repetitive every year, and we've had different coordinators, different coaches, obviously different players. Yet it's still the same basic mistakes.
Is it safe to say the Lions are cursed?
Yeah. It's definitely. I know. I feel like we're the new Boston Red Sox as far as
Cubs.
being cursed.
Cubs are worse.
Yeah.
At least the Red Sox have won a few World Series in the past few years.
That's true.
Where did they go wrong? And even better yet, how do the fans still think this is look at this lineup? They're winning the Super Bowl, and anyone who thinks not is an idiot. Yeah.
It's the NFL, man. We love our football, and it's the hometown team.
The Cleveland Browns, with now Johnny Manziel under center after the injury to Josh McCown, has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than your Detroit Lions. We're switching gears. I need to calm down. We had some college football games over the weekend, including your Michigan Wolverines.
All right.
They get the job done against one of the worst teams in D1 football, the Oregon State Beavers. They take them down 35-7. It was the Davion Smith show. He had 126 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. They had 4 rushing touchdowns for the game. It looked good. They struggled at the beginning out of the gate. Oregon State goes up 7. But after that, it was all Michigan. They go for 2 in there because they had to kick a field goal and whatnot. And they look good. Jake Rudock, however, the quarterback, still looked pretty rough. How bad is Shane Morris if Rudock's still in there? I think, I don't know. Is Jake Rudock that far ahead? I mean, I don't know if I want to see Morris in the game. But Rudock definitely has more experience. He already played 4 years at Iowa. He's a 5th-year senior with an extra year of eligibility, so he came here to play under Harbaugh. He's not grasping it. If he's not grasping it against the Oregon State Beavers, is he going to grasp it against the Buckeyes or the Spartans?
Right.
The Nittany Lions.
Two huge games that they definitely have to win, and they can't risk anything at all. But it was a big win for them.
Yeah, definitely. Harbaugh getting that first win.
Absolutely, especially at home. And I saw improvement. And as long as there's improvement week to week, sooner or later, next couple of years, they're going to be back in the spotlight, and we're going to have 3 huge rivalries going on in the Big Ten. So that was great to see. I thought it was. I really don't understand Rudock right now. Obviously, Harbaugh sees something that's there. I don't see it personally, but what can you do? You got to play with the hand that you're dealt, and we'll see where it goes from here. But as long as they can continue to improve from week to week, that's nothing but great news for the University of Michigan.
It really is. Their defense looked good. They were getting some penetration from their D-line, and that's always good to see. The secondary looked, for the most part, pretty solid. The defense isn't the problems. Obviously, they have Jabril Peppers back there, who is an absolute freak athlete. They're comparing him to Charles Woodson, although this is just his 2nd year. Brady Hoke did not utilize him at all. He did not want to play for Brady Hoke, and he made that very clear last year, and I don't blame him. Would you want to play for this? Is Michigan? No, I wouldn't want to play for him. Guy doesn't even wear a headset.
Yeah.
The guy looks like, okay, we all have that one neighbor who stands outside and just gets hammered, no matter, in just a T-shirt or a white beater, all year round. We all have them. You're thinking, oh, that's Jim. Yeah, it's Jim. It's Jim. It's Brady Hoke. That was Brady Hoke. He's probably drinking right now thinking he's still the coach of the Wolverines.
same guy that you just pull in your driveway and you got to run inside because
You
the moment you
can't
make eye contact, it's over.
It's done. Wolverines 5-7. Brady Hoke thinks they just won the national title. He's celebrating with a round of Heinekens for the group. Heineken, sorry, that's not an endorsement. It's my own opinion and thought. Dan, Michigan State played on Saturday as well. That was a big game.
Huge.
That was a big game. Number 5 Spartans hosting the number 7 Oregon Ducks. They escaped with a 30, and they really escaped this one. 31-28. The Spartans, it's their biggest win in a while since they took down Ohio State last year. It's an absolute big win for the Spartans, but I don't know if I like the performance of Connor Cook. Again, Connor Cook, supposed to be this first-round draft pick, supposed to be a Heisman candidate, and he didn't look good against Western. He definitely didn't look good against Oregon. I mean, Oregon's definitely a much better team than Western, head and shoulders above the rest. But Cook, if he's going to be that guy, he's got to step up in big games.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I feel that game at Western should have been Connor Cook's highlight reel. He could have just completely just destroyed him, and you didn't see it. You turn on if you were to look at the score or the game on paper and just seeing the outcome of the score, you're like, really? Wow, Western? I mean, when did they arrive? And but he hasn't impressed me. And there is talent there, unfortunately. I mean, there is talent there that should have been showcased, over in Kalamazoo during that first game. They barely stayed above water, but what an instant classic game that was. You never wanted to turn the game off because you never knew it was going to happen. It was neck and neck, and up to the last 2 minutes, it was incredible. Definitely a fun game to watch, but they did walk away with a win. But if you were a Michigan State fan, Sparty, you're not feeling too confident right now. I mean, that was a great win, but you can't take too much away from that. I just wasn't. Yeah.
Dan, the thing about Spartan fans is they are confident. They think it doesn't stink, if you know what I'm saying. They think they are the bees frickin' knees. And let me tell you something, Spartan fans. All right? You need to understand something. All right? Coming from a Walmart Wolverine. All right? And I know you are as well.
Yeah.
All right?
I went to Michigan once.
I did too. I did go there. But we have a message for you. All right? And let me just think how to say this. You're still little brother. You are still little brother. And I'll tell you why.
Save all those emails, address them to Nick Butler.
Send the hate mail. Send me the hate mail. Send it. I don't care. You're little brother. You're acting like little brother by thinking you're still the best. Look at the overall record. You're not even close. Not even close. Sure, the last 10 years you've owned Michigan. Let me tell you something. You're crying? Oh, Michigan fans, they think they're the best. They're terrible. Oh, hey, Michigan fans. Oh, you think your win against a horrible Oregon State team puts you back on the map? No. No, we don't. We don't think that put us back on the map. We are celebrating a win. When the Cleveland Browns beat the Jaguars, do they think they're a Super Bowl contender? No. Okay, we understand. Walmart Wolverines understand. Maybe not all of them, but the realists like myself and Dan here. We know Michigan's not going to be good this year. Maybe 7 wins, maybe 8 wins, if they're lucky. Michigan State's definitely a better team this year. But you're still little brother. And remember that. Forever. Since when does a little brother, oh, hey, I'm older than you now, big brother. I'm older than you. You're not. You're younger. You always will be. And you're acting like it by crying all the time. Dan, take it away.
I have to give them.
You don't want to agree with me because you'd be under a lot of scrutiny.
No, I agree with you, but
thank you. I'm a wise man.
It's
wise.
They're
yes.
I am looking forward to. Big Brother got knocked down.
He's just sick.
He
right
broke
now.
his. Yeah, he's sick.
All
right.
Under the weather.
No, but I will give it to Michigan State. They have improved. It's fantastic to see if you're just a Big Ten fan. The rivalry it'll be nice once we get a big 3 going. Once Michigan gets back on their feet. Right now though, it's between Michigan State and Ohio State, and I'm the type of person, if your team's not producing, you really can't say much. You can look at the past, and as far as the historically, yes. But yeah, I mean, it's a great day to be a Spartan, I guess you could say. But I do want to say though, I'm looking forward to maybe the next 3 years, or 3 years time from now. It's going to be an awesome rivalry as long as all three of these teams stay as
But I
dominant.
just want to say, I'm not saying Michigan's better. Right now, they're not. But overall, yes.
Yeah.
For the time. I'm not going to live in the past. I'm not going to be that guy. I just wanted a message because I just wanted to knock the Spartans down off their little pedestal that they built for themselves. Just knock you down back to reality. It was not an impressive win. Oh, it was an impressive team to beat, but they should have lost that game.
Yeah.
With under 2 minutes left, Oregon had a guy wide open in the end zone. They overshot him. It looked like Jake Rudock.
Yeah.
They overshot a guy in the end zone, wide open. It would have been a whole different game. Spartans still would have been, knock yourselves down. Go undefeated. Then we'll talk. Beat Ohio State.
Yeah. Just do that, please.
Beat Ohio State, please, for all of us. Beat the Buckeyes. If you dismantle Michigan, you can have it then. Just don't put down U of M when they win and you win. Oh, your win was worse than our win. Who cares? You both won. Be happy for each other.
Yeah.
Be happy. Red Wings start soon.
Speaking of being happy.
They had Hockey Fest this past weekend. It was a good time. I got to yak it up with some of the players, and a guy that really impressed me yesterday, talking with him during Hockey Fest, was Jimmy Howard. I've not been the biggest Jimmy Howard fan for his tenure here, but just listening to him and some of the audience questions, because they did a Q&A session with he and Darren McCarty was his partner. Nice. Supposed to be Mike Green. He bailed. Oh, okay, cool. You're new and you're already upset in the public. But anyways, they asked him about his injury. They asked him about his shootout struggles. They asked him about what he thinks about Peter Mrazek. And he was very straightforward with all of it. Very straightforward. He was a lot cooler than I thought he was going to be. And
a lot of maturity.
Yeah, definitely a clear leader. And the guys respect him. And it's impressive. I gained a lot of respect for Jimmy Howard at that. And, I mean, it's still an open competition between he and Peter Mrazek. And I'm rooting for Jimmy. I would love to see him get back to the level that he was once at before his injury this past year. He was an all-star. He got voted to the all-star game. He had great numbers. Shootouts, obviously, were not his best friend, but it's a skills competition. They started a new rule this year where they're going to go to 3-on-3 to try to prevent more shootouts. But then if it's still tied at the end of the 3-on-3 overtime period, then obviously it'll go to the skills competition, which, I don't know. And they asked him, who do you least like facing in the shootout? Who do you think he said?
I'd probably want to go with Ryan Getzlaff.
No. He said Steven Stamkos.
Really?
He said his shot is just unreal. It's stupid, really. And he said that's no disrespect to Sidney Crosby, but when McCarty goes, what about Ovechkin? With his little rasp, he goes, no. You know Ovechkin's shot's not that good. He stands in the same spot, you know where it's going to go, and everyone's like, oh. And another thing that was asked, Riley Sheahan and Luke Glendening were up there. They were funny. They were the funniest group. And they were asked, who do you least like to play against? Because you know there's those guys that get under your skin, and that's what they're out there to do. And he said Dion Phaneuf and Zach Ronaldo from Philly. And he said, because I just downright hate them.
Yeah.
They're annoying to play against. Hopefully they don't see that, is what he said, and everyone laughed. But it was just, the Hockey Fest is a really good time for the fans to interact with the players pretty much one-on-one. Like, they're talking to you. There's not that many people there. There's only 2,600 people through the doors all day.
Wow.
And it went from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You got to go out onto the ice. They had some stuff over it where you could walk around. Polkanen was playing street hockey with some of the little kids. Thomas Yurko played goalie, and kids could shoot on him. It was really cool, like, interaction. Yak it up with Ken Daniels, Kenny Cal, Art Regner. They were all there. And it was a good time. It really was.
So how are you feeling for this upcoming season?
I'm obviously optimistic. Hockey's my number one sport that I like and love, really. And I always see the optimistic side of the Red Wings. Unlike the Lions and the Tigers, where I'm more of a realist for them, this is the one team that I'm a slappy for, and I absolutely love the Red Wings. But my realistic side says we're going to have to wait and see. They could be a bubble team this year. Obviously, they're older. They added Brad Richards and Mike Green. Mike Green, his shot is just unreal from the point. He's a having a right-handed shot on the point is so important, especially on the power play. I think he's a great addition. I think Brad Richards is a scrappy center who's got wheels and knows how to put the puck in the net. Obviously, he's won 2 Stanley Cups, once with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then obviously last year with Chicago. It's all going to come down to defense to me. Their defense is always a question mark. You still have guys, your Kyle Quincy's, your Brendan Smiths. Kindle, I think, is a guy who could see a lot of time this year. I'm high on Jakob Kindle. I think he's going to have a breakout year if he gets a chance. And goaltending. Who's going to win the battle? Jimmy Howard, Peter Mrazek. Are they going to platoon? I think they're both capable goalies. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of hate coming towards Jimmy Howard last year. The more and more I watch him, either interviews, almost his style, I see real shining lights or bright spots of Ozzy. Ozzy had a real tough time his first couple years here. Let's go back to that San Jose game in the playoffs in '94, I believe. And he redeemed himself and he ended up coming back. Hopefully it doesn't get to the point where we have to trade Jimmy, but yeah, I see his maturity levels increasing. Just interviews in his style and just all the dedication and hard work that he has been putting in. And I'll be real with you, I'm not the biggest Jimmy Howard fan, but seeing what we saw over this weekend, his off-ice practice and stuff like that, it'll be an interesting battle to see. But touching back, another thing that you said was that we do need a strong defensive line, especially in that point, especially during power plays. And it has been increasingly better. Those first couple of years when we were in that, rebuilding. That line was so frustrating to watch, especially on a power play. It's going right down the center of the ice. It's just basic formation that you should have been practicing. And it's definitely getting better, but you're absolutely right. We do need a strong point. And it'll be an interesting year. I'm really excited to see that new rule to go in effect with the 3-on-3. A lot of hockey fans were calling for it, and Bettman did something right for once. He listened. And we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a really great hockey season, especially with the Blackhawks being dismantled, with everything that's going on in that organization. So it'd be fun to jump on top of them again.
It's going to be interesting to see, obviously, with the Patrick Kane thing going on, and they trade Patrick Sharp, and they're retooling.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch for us because we hate the Blackhawks.
Just eat it all up.
Eating it up. I'm loving it at the time, but we're going to have to go out on the ice and prove that we're the better team. And that's still going to be tough with that team. I guess all we can do from here is figure it out and see what happens. Yeah. And until next week, we're going to have to see. Next week, preseason starts.
Yeah.
Training camp starts this week. Preseason begins the following week. And it's going to be
the Lions lower your blood pressure next Sunday.
They're playing the Minnesota Vikings, who with an unnamed real quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, but they still have Adrian Peterson. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be an interesting sports week. The team who we're no longer talking about, they're playing as well. Mm-hmm. So if you want to watch them, feel free. Just don't expect us to talk about them. And they may have a different manager. Who knows? You never know. We're not going to tell you. For Dan Myers, I'm Nick Buckler. Thanks for watching.